Okay, so this is the testing stream to see if that will be recorded. Title is controversial, and it's covering the subject of US patent that is considered as theoretical. However, it has almost 50 years right now. And its subject is about this. It's about apparatus and method for remotely monitoring and altering the brainwaves. So basically what that is to how the US government propose a solution for a device that will be return brain waves pattern from a distance. Desired is to do that while you are in non-motion state, so possibly dream, sleeping, and after reading the response, that will get back to the place where the reading is initiated from, to be able to so basically to affect your brain, your mood, your thoughts patterns, not actually to control you like a zombie, however, affect your brain in a matter that will be significant for your life and performance. Six, yeah. So you can imagine if they done it 50 years ago, they had a concept already patented in US office, than what they might have now. This is a created device physically. However, this is described in deep detail, so I don't believe that they didn't do it. Most likely it wasn't proposed for the wider public of possible usage of this patent. I've asked also free IRE of those invention, on this invention, sorry. So what I received was quite interesting. I need to change the source, sorry. I thought I had it prepared. However, I'm not yet familiar with the tool I'm using, OSB Studio. So let's add the window capture on the response I've got from, first maybe that's a tool provided by the Brave browser. So what's interesting is that I asked for the summary from Leo, is what I received. So firstly, he started here, asked for a brief 5-minute brief presentation on the subject. Starting to summarize, sorry, wanted to make it bigger. Started to summarize something else. I put an exact link, the patent I asked for. He started to describe something completely different about the pneumatic control system. I've asked one more time, and he once more started to analyze the other patent. When I told that it's wrong, he said, yeah, I'm sorry for confusion. And what he did, he made analyzing the other patent that is not the one I asked for. So once more, I asked him to button with a title, the proper one, and yeah, what he respond to us is, yeah, you're absolutely right, I made a mistake, and he started to respond with some rubbish. So it seemed like he doesn't want to have exploration of the subject. But after another attempt, he gave me a very short briefing of this patent that its key points are electrodes monitoring patterns. Here he's talking about the classical EEG method, and here he's talking about altering the system using electromagnetic fields to modify brainwave activity, potentially for experimental purposes. I think that it's most likely for military purpose and experimental as well. Maybe even some of us have been exposed to device audio remote monitoring and adjustment, making it suitable for clinical and research settings. Not much, and we don't have real uh, working device shown with the prototype. However, I don't believe they didn't done that. To what was said by the GPT, ChatGPT was also asked for feedback. See, where is GPT? Just in Firefox. Okay, so the ChatGPT actually deeper briefing. Oh, sorry, deeper, yeah, deeper analysis of the subject. So maybe I will try to put a human speaker. He supposedly generated an audio file. I don't know how to use it yet because I'm making it for the first time. So this is some weird thing happening. Not necessarily. He just showed me some image of the waves. Okay, that's some kind of rubbish. So let's maybe have a quick glimpse. These spray waves remote huge radio waves instead of sticky electrodes. In simple terms, it's like beaming invisible radio flashlight into your skull to pick up signals. The inventor even suggested sending a feedback signal back into the brain to alter its activity if desired. In the patent, we have all the. So if you would like to see that, just type the name of apparatus. The apparatus for the remote and the method for remotely monitoring and altering brain waves. And you will see that on the open internet. You can see the diagrams, you can see how the pattern that is actually some real thing, not science fiction. Here details it describes how it works. The system uses antennas and radio transmitters. It sends two different high frequency radio waves towards the person's head. In the patient example, one wave was 100 MHz and the other 210 MHz. When these waves pass into the brain, they mix together and produce a new beat frequency, in this case 110 MHz, print of the brain on electrical activity. In other words, the brain tiny electric field modulate that combine radio waves as it travels through the skull. This modulation 110 MHz signal coming back out of the head. Electronics then amplify and decode it to recover the pattern. Describes converting this into a visual display, like an EEG readout, and even sending that data to a computer for analysis. The brainwaves then drive another transmitter to send a compensating signal back into the brain to try to change its activity. We may consider even that the signal described as what was the word used by GPT? Okay, it's a problematic. So if your thoughts pattern are not, let's say, convenient for those who are emitting those, they may try to compensate it. So actually alter your to have desired effect that the actual controller have on you, and not what you desire as being targeted by this kind of possible applications. Medical monitoring, of course, medical monitoring, sleep and stress research. So maybe research, or maybe they have a problem with the sleeping, or inducting a sleep-like state, so you will be tired all the time. Brain-computer interference, a little far-fetched. Such a system hints at connecting brains to computer. Actually, it's not connecting brain to computer, but having the computer system connected to the response, the tool that made a measure on your brain waves, and then put back the signal to correct, compensate your brain wave pattern. So actually to affect on your brain activity, maybe decreased, you'll be tired, you'll have problems to think properly or efficiently. Surveillance and communications, of course, surveillance. Scanners sounds like something from spy fiction, yeah. And I think that, my opinion, it's used that way. It suggests the idea of reading someone's brain from a distance, or even sending such half risk and say the radio power must stay low to be safe. If that's actually being applied, I think that if someone uses it for surveillance and for illegal, those norms are not being actually controlled as any manner, mainly focus on the effect. Concern and consideration, privacy and ethics. This concept raises big question about mental privacy. Yeah, there's some mental privacy at this time. Experts today stress that our brain data should be private like our enormous thoughts. I think they are not. A device that listens to your brain from afar or writes signals to it would be very controversial, and it is very controversial, and I have a claim that they use it nowadays. Safety using radio frequency on a person's head could be harmful if too strong. So I have also the claim that it was used on me because I had many aberrations of the radio frequency fields measured very time, recorded several times here in the place where I live. The patent notes the energy must be kept below harmful level, not necessarily was. Radio waves into the brain are still not fully known. Well, I suppose that they are not positive because it's actually so can be positive. Feasibility is unclear if this method truly works in practice. The brain is complex, noisy environment. Yeah, we know that, but we look on the Neuralink of Elon Musk. What they already did, actual experiments would face technical hurdles. No one built a working remote EEG from this patent. No one we officially know. Most likely, if those are being built, they were built in the secret and tested as well, and most possibly